Hello and welcome to Quick Lessons. Today we will discuss about some of the important schemes under the Ministry of Rural Development, Govt of India. Mission Antodaya, Deen Dayal Antodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission, Ajivika Gramin Express Yojana, Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin, Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Urban Mission, Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramin Kaushalya Yojana. Mission Antodaya Scheme. Mission Antodaya is a convergence and accountability framework aiming to bring optimum use and management of resources allocated by the Govt of India under various programs for the development of rural areas. Now, we'll have a look at the objectives of this scheme. Ensuring effective use of resources through convergence of various government schemes with Gram Panchayat as the basic unit of planning. Work with a focused micro plan for sustainable livelihood for every deprived household. Conduct an annual survey on measurable outcomes of Gram Panchayat level to monitor the progress in the development process through rural areas. Supporting the process of participatory planning for the Gram Panchayat development plan. Encourage partnership with a network of professionals, institutions and enterprises to further accelerate the transformation of rural livelihoods. Mission Antodaya strives to realize the vision of poverty-free India by 2022. Mission Antodaya encourages addressing all identified deprivations in a time-bound manner through intensifying coverage of government schemes to address individual, household and community level deprivations. Deen Dayal Antodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission, to enable rural poor to increase household income through sustainable livelihood enhancements and improve access to financial services. The scheme is assisted by funding from the World Bank. Some of the features of this scheme are as follows. Universal social mobilization. At least one women member from each identified rural poor household is to be brought under the self-help group network. Participatory identification of poor. The target group is identified through the PIP method, that is participatory identification of poor method, and is delinked from the below poverty criteria of identification of poor. Community fund. The scheme provides revolving fund and community investment fund as resources in perpetuity. Financial inclusion. It promotes financial inclusion among the poor through financial literacy and access to institutional financing. Livelihood. National Rural Livelihood Mission focuses on stabilizing and promoting existing livelihood portfolio of the poor through its three pillars. Three pillars are vulnerability reduction and livelihood enhancement through expanding existing livelihood options and tapping new opportunities. Employment, that is building skills for the job market outside, and enterprises, that is nurturing self-employed entrepreneurs. Ajivika Gramin Express Yojana. It was introduced as a sub-scheme under Deen Dayal Antodaya Yojana, National Rural Livelihood Mission, with an aim to provide an alternate source of livelihood to members of self-help groups by facilitating them to operate public transport services in backward rural areas as identified by the states. To provide safe and affordable and community monitored rural transformation services to connect remote villages with key services and amenities, including access to market, education and health. Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. To achieve the objective of housing for all by 2022, the scheme seeks to help the rural people below the poverty line in construction of dwelling units and upgradation of existing unserviceable kacha houses by providing assistance in the form of full grant. Beneficiaries are people belonging to SCs, STs, free bonded laborers and non-SCs, ST categories, widows or next of kin of defense personnel killed in action, ex-servicemen and retired members of the paramilitary forces, differently abled persons and minorities. The beneficiaries are chosen according to data taken from the socio-economic caste census of 2011. The cost of unit assistance is to be shared between central and state governments in the ratio 60:40 in plain areas and 90:10 for northeastern and hilly states. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee Urban Mission. Large part of rural areas in the country are not standalone settlements but part of a cluster of settlements which are relatively close to each other. These clusters typically illustrate potential for growth and have economic drivers and derive locational and competitive advantages. The National Urban Mission aims at development of a cluster of villages that preserve and nurture the essence of rural community life with a focus on equity and inclusiveness without compromising the facilities perceived to be essentially urban in nature, thus creating a cluster of urban villages. The clusters would be developed by provisioning of economic activities, developing skills and local entrepreneurship, and providing basic infrastructure facilities. The objective is to stimulate local economic development, enhance basic services, and create well-planned urban clusters that are smart villages. Deen Dayal Upadhyaya Gramin Kaushalya Yojana (DDU-GKY) in short. DDU-GKY is tasked with the dual objective of adding diversity into the incomes of rural poor families and cater to the career aspirations of rural youth. It aims at transforming rural poor youth into an economically independent and globally relevant workforce. It focuses on rural youth between the ages of 15 and 35 years from poor families. For SC, ST, women and PWD, the maximum age is 45 years. As a part of the Skill India campaign, it plays an instrumental role in supporting the social and economic programs of the government like Make in India, Digital India, Smart Cities, Stand Up India campaigns. Special initiatives under DDU-GKY: Hinayat, a special scheme for youth, rural and urban of Jammu and Kashmir; Roshni, a special initiatives under DDU-GKY: Hinayat, a special scheme for the youth, rural and urban of Jammu and Kashmir; Roshni, a special initiative for the rural youth of poor families in left-wing extremism affected districts. Northeast region: 10% of DDU-GKY program funds are reserved for projects in Northeast, wherein the center contributes 90% of the training costs to ensure opportunities for rural youth from the Northeast. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share and subscribe the channel.